Highlights from the AFC West battle last night for the playoff picture and for your doubleheader coverage leading up to tonight's action. Yes, 2 games on a Saturday right here on NFL Network. Good Morning Football has you covered. Mad Minutes. We've got Saturday games, DraftKings, Pigskin Picks all coming up this hour. But Kyle, what happened last night?
Raiders, Chargers. Let's go to Las Vegas, the site of a raucous P. Schrager's bachelor party he had at the Excalibur Hotel and Resort. But we're not in Vegas, we're in Oakland, if you ask John Gruden, who wore the wrong hat. He said afterwards, and I quote, "Somebody played a pretty good trick on me." He's insinuating that someone messed with the head coach and gave him the wrong hat. Don't you think that's a little weird? Derek Carr pulls up on the Raiders' first drive as they're about to punch it in. He leaves with a groin injury, does not return. So we had dueling ducks, one of which is this man, Justin Herbert. We'll get to the other one shortly. Touchdown! Tyron Johnson! And with that, Justin ties Baker, who came in as a rookie out of the Oklahoma Sooners program and had 27 touchdown passes. Now Herbert's done the same. Rod Marinelli is the new interim defensive coordinator. It didn't go terribly well for him, but it did go well for Gruden. Somebody went to Lids in the mall and got him a Las Vegas Raiders hat. Again, he said someone played a trick on him, insinuating skullduggery inside the Raiders, that someone intentionally messed with the head coach in a nationally televised game. I said there was another duck. It's Marcus Mariota, former number 2 overall pick behind Jameis Winston, who I hope is freed this weekend. Michael Badgley was not the number 2 overall pick, but he did miss a bunch of kicks last night, if that helps. Badgley leads the league in missed kicks. We hate it. We celebrate him. We like the whole Badgley family. We like the nickname. We like everything about him, except the Chargers don't like that. And it made the game go to overtime after a Raiders field goal, in which they could have won it, but they came up short. Herbert's going up top, baby. That's Jalen Guyton. Jalen Guyton. Inside the 5, and then this. A couple plays later, Herbert just gets hit right in the chin and takes it. And look at the Raiders players. They know the game is over. Really, the season is over. The Chargers winning in a weird fashion at the end of the game in which they normally lose. And afterwards, Herbert was asked to talk about that final touchdown. And Justin, how'd you get in there, man?
Yeah, pretty cool experience. Just to be out there with the guys and some of your best friends and the teammates doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, we're a resilient team. To go through so much this year and to keep battling and to keep fighting. I know that those guys in that locker room are going to give us everything they can. And so for us to come out on top, I think it's huge for us. And looking forward to another great week of practice and getting after it next week.
Congrats to the Chargers. Justin Herbert, lots to look forward to in the future. Good taste in our mouths heading into next season. Raiders, though, fall to 7-7. They pretty much need a miracle at this point to make it into the playoffs. A must-win game for them that they lost last night at home. Top of the playoff picture, Bills closing in on the Steelers for the 2 seed in the AFC. I mean, they could potentially clinch the AFC East this weekend if they win on Saturday over the Broncos, and then if the Dolphins lose to the Patriots. Okay, that's enough of the beautiful mind of Good Morning Football producers. Let's bring in James Palmer, Jimmy Palmtrees, with more on the Bills. They, of course, face the Broncos as part of our NFL doubleheader on a Saturday.
Broncos starting quarterback Drew Lock is struggling through his first full season as an NFL starter. He's last in the NFL in completion percentage, tied for 33rd in touchdown to interception ratio. But does he have a blueprint to follow on how he plays the next couple of seasons in his opponent and good friend, Josh Allen, on Saturday? Allen told me that the two have worked out together in the past. They enjoy spending time with one another, playing basketball, and added that Drew Lock is 10 times the better dancer that he is. But Lock raved about the transformation that Allen has gone through, struggling with accuracy issues in the first 2 seasons of his NFL career. And now Josh Allen is on pace for the highest completion percentage in Buffalo Bills history. Lock said he watched Allen go through the struggles, try to figure out which plays work against which coverages within his offense. And he said those struggles allowed him to learn the position even better. And he said the type of football that Josh Allen's playing now, well, that's the type of football I'd like to be playing in my next NFL season.
Palmtrees, I'm excited about this one. Following the Bills and Broncos, we will see Teddy Bridgewater, of course, and the Panthers up against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. It's all super important for seeding playoff picture. Do the Green Bay Packers get that bye? The only bye in the NFC. Do they stay on top? Big games, lots of implications. And it's all tomorrow with the NFL Network Saturday doubleheader starting Saturday at 4:30 only on NFL Network. Guys, not every team has been as hot in December, right? So who's the team that needs to, Nate, pick it up and get on the heater? You guys always talk about momentum heading into this part of the season.
The New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints will always be one of the best teams in the regular season. As long as you have Sean Payton and Drew Brees, you're going to be good in the regular season. And I said that week one, said in the middle of the season. I'm even saying it right now. Who cares about that loss last week? I'm not concerned about that. But they need momentum for a few reasons. One, that they're going to need something to power through what could be a chaotic playoff run. The last couple of years, there's always something that puts a screeching halt on their momentum. Okay, 2, Drew Brees. What's going to happen with Drew Brees? When he comes back, he's still going to be a guy recovering from multiple rib fractures. All right, so you're going to need something to have on the sideline, whether it's Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, ready to go in case he takes a shot and he has to sit on the sideline for a quarter, for maybe a game, for a couple of weeks. Who's going to come in and fill that spot? And then I mentioned Taysom Hill. He's a really good quarterback. He's a great athlete, but you can't be both all of the time. When you leave the pocket, you got to be QB Taysom Hill. You can't be running back, physical, strong, the guy who sometimes plays special teams and wide receivers. You can't be that guy. You have to be able to leave the pocket, slide with your feet first while tucking the ball away like a scared quarterback. And I'm not saying every quarterback is weak or soft. I'm just saying play by the rules, because the moment you leave the pocket and you're being Taysom and you're still trying to fight for that extra yard and that ball comes out, that's the problem we're starting to see. And if we see it, a guy that used to play sitting in his basement talking about football, every single defense sees that. So the game plan is Taysom Hill is really good. He can throw the ball. I mean, don't be fooled by his athleticism. He can throw it over the top of your head. But when he leaves that pocket, first guy hit him, second guy go for the ball. That's going to get us a turnover. So for me, that's why. There's 3 main reasons. It's the momentum they need in the playoffs, what's going to happen with Drew Brees, and Taysom Hill being the backup, and some of the issues he has taking care of the ball.
Nate makes such good points, and yet there's a robot hanging over his shoulder. I can't barely pay attention, Nate. That robot is so menacing there. Gosh, what is he? I mean, it's like Nate's talking, but I'm looking at the robot. The robot has such thoughts. He just needs to be a fifth host of the show. If we were to do power rankings right now, and Dan Hansis does it every Wednesday for us, where are you putting the Pittsburgh Steelers? Not for what they've done, but right now. Are you putting the Steelers above the Colts? Are you putting the Steelers above the Titans? Are you putting the Steelers above the Browns, who they've owned historically? I don't know what to make of the Steelers, and they're coming off 2 really bad losses. So now here's where I say, yeah, but. And here's my yeah, but. Like, the season the Steelers have had with the schedule changes due to everyone else's COVID-19 issues has really been a raw deal. I feel for them for that. They had to play games on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Mondays, Sundays. They've had games moved. They didn't have a true bye week. I feel like they now have a moment here, and they have a moment to collect themselves and say, what are we? What are we doing? Because right now we're still in a good spot. And we play the Bengals this weekend, and then we've got 2 more games that we've got to win, the Browns and the Colts, and then we go into the playoffs. The Steelers, to me, are fascinating, and I want to see them go out there this weekend and have that get-right game and not mess around and not have Garrett Gilbert take them to the wire or not have to worry about Alex Smith hitting Cam Sims on a 3rd down pass to beat them in their building. Steelers haven't looked the same the last few weeks. I think they still have it in them, and they have a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame quarterback, and maybe the Defensive Player of the Year in TJ Watt. There's enough there. Steelers, to me, are just fascinating right now because I don't know if they're even a top 5 team if I'm ranking them around the league right now.
Peter's making such great points, and yet I'm just distracted by all of these people and all these women just looking at Vince Lombardi over his shoulder. It's kind of distracting, Peter, if to be honest. I'm trying to listen.
What's going on?
Steelers, and I'm thinking of the Packers. Now, set aside power rankings. Peter, if we were to do a segment called the don't know what to make of them rankings, which is the phrase that you used, the number 1 team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're number 1 on the don't know what you make of them power rankings. I think we had this thought, or maybe this fallacy, that they were going to go on that bye week. They're going to go away, and they're going to come back and all right, they figured it out. They finally put it together. Now, I still don't know what to make of them. You know what I make of them? I'll say this again. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a greatest hits album. They are an impressive collection of parts from the past that aren't necessarily a cohesive album. Pick whatever track you want. Brady, Gronk, Antonio, Evans, Shady. It's very rare that the greatest hits album can really soar as an album. I'll give you Bob Marley Legend, Madonna The Immaculate Collection, Bruce Springsteen The Essential for all you sports writers out there. But you know what they need? They don't need a greatest hits. They need a best of. Very different. Greatest hits are just whatever was commercially charted the highest. Best of is your best songs, your most quality tracks. And you know, in that clip there, we saw a couple things. We saw Antonio Brown catching some short pass and getting tackled. And we saw Scotty Miller going deep to the end zone. Guys, if this is a best of, I don't know that Antonio Brown is the best guy to be out there for the team right now. It's a wild thing to say that Scotty Miller is better for the Bucs, but I'll tell you this, look it up. Antonio's snaps are going down. He's playing less, and he has an incentive-laden contract. Despite that, they are playing him less. He doesn't make a difference out there. And I think if you continue to keep Scotty Miller off the field, you are doing it because of reputation or maybe because Brady wants it, which is a whole nother soap opera. But if this is not a greatest hits, I don't care what Antonio did 12 years ago. I care what's happening now. And best of, I don't think he's an integral part of the offense. They need to figure that out.
Great points all around at GMFB with your thoughts there. I'll bring up I don't know why I'm all of a sudden, Kyle, like into the Bears. I've been so tough.